Hey guys, welcome to our podcast, All Talk, presented by Mcrystal Media. We're going to talk about all things sport related and business related. And today we have superstar Tonga Hadley with us. What's up, bro?
What's up? I'm here to be. Good to be here.
So we're going to get into your childhood, sort of how you got to where you got to, and go from there. So how was your childhood? How did you sort of find rugby, and go from there?
Yeah, I grew up in Blacktown. I grew up with 6 kids, including me. So it was pretty good. I got a twin sister, which is pretty hectic. And then my brother also has a twin sister, so we've got like pretty tight grip going. But yeah, school-wise, I grew up in Blacktown, so I went down to Hill Sports for a year. And then soon after, I kind of repeated to go down to Kings to experience the whole 7 years of it. So that's just my life.
Awesome, bro. So how did you sort of find your passion for rugby? So you obviously talk about Hillside, and you have your family with you as well. They're also rugby related,
yeah. My family is kind of like they used to be a bit sporty. My mum used to be a cheerleader, apparently, which I found out recently.
Oh, hectic.
And then my dad used to play professionally. Went down to Japan for 5 years, played for Hiroshima.
Oh, really?
And then kind of flew down to Australia and just cruised down his life. So I kind of guess that from there, it's always been like such a thing for me, just going sports, and then especially rugby, because I always look up to my dad, you know.
Hectic, bro. So he sort of just put you on the path, showed you a couple of things, and
yeah,
from there it's just taken off, eh?
Yeah, right. He used to do like so many good things to me, but like it was like sometimes hard. He used to, when I was young, probably about around 10 or 12. He used to make me do some of these like 100 sit-ups and all this stuff, and I was just like, this is gonna be hard. It was hard for me back then, I know that. But every time he's like, oh, you want to be like Jonah Lomu? You gotta do the hard work. And I was just like, oh, okay. And I kind of just had that in my mind ever since.
Kind of just nodding your head, and
yeah.
One day it'll show off, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, hectic. Yeah. So you were talking about people that you sort of looked up to, your dad. Is anyone else sort of sport related when you were growing up? That obviously said Jonah Loma was a big part of that success.
Yeah, especially when my dad used to show me some videos back then, how big he was back then, you know, how he brought rugby back on the map. And then probably I'd say this year, you know, he's passed, but he's left such a great legacy, like for people like Chess and Kobe.
That's what I look up to, eh?
Yeah, he inspires me a lot, especially for someone his size.
Yeah.
Like, he's kind of like my height at the moment, I'd say. And he's like had the same pathway as me at the moment, because he started off in 7s and then kind of went down to 15s, and he's having such a grateful time there.
Yeah, just carved up, eh?
Yeah, but
footwork's insane.
He's insane.
Yeah.
But he's had like a lot of injuries too.
Yeah. Oh, he did. He had his shoulder. He's done his ankle in the World Cup.
And then I think he has. I heard about a knee thing.
Knee thing.
I think it was just like a minor thing, but yeah.
Recent?
Yeah,
I think so. That's why he was injured for that period of time when he was in Tulun, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, hectic. And then also, sort of, where did you find your passion from rugby? So obviously, yeah, your dad. You mentioned your dad. Was there any other things that came up during when you were young, or?
I think
maybe like a magazine that just popped up randomly. Just I want to be like that.
Probably like the biggest thing for me is that when I realized that rugby's a thing for me is when I watched I think it was 2015. I can't remember the year, but it was Waratahs versus Crusaders grand final.
Yeah, 2014.
Yeah, I think you're right.
When they won?
It's somewhere in Rugby AU that I saw it from. It was one of the years, but I remember my dad got me tickets, and I went to go watch with my brother also. we were far away, but like we were way back in the stands. Yeah, we're watching the game. Such a great game. It was such a good game.
Insane.
Yeah, very close, but I guess that was probably like a realization that this is the sport I'm gonna play.
That's where you want to be, eh?
Yeah.
And then your first taste of success, where did that come?
Ooh. First success, I'd say when I first got into Kings.
First got into Kings.
Yeah, I was. I'm a religion bloke too, so I pray a lot.
Yeah.
I remember I was praying the day before my interview with them, because we couldn't afford it, so we had to try and go for a scholarship. It was like all or nothing type of thing.
Yeah.
And so I was praying. I was just like, Heavenly Father, could you just please get me to this school, and then I'll try my best to study hard and not you know.
not mess around.
Yeah. Thank God I got it though, so I was really happy. And then some of the other boys came along with me too. So.
Awesome. And what sort of come from Kings? So you obviously made Waratahs. After that, was that through Kings or was that through, like, how you sort of got seen?
Yeah. Well, that's what I like about the school I went to. It's like, it's well known out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, like, the achievements I made over there was like, basically, everything that I did over there.
Yeah, because my story is sort of similar. I was at Pittwater High School, and then I sort of got the offer to go to, well, not really the offer, my mum said she can just get into places.
Yeah.
So she got me into St. Augustine's, and that kind of just, obviously I didn't make Waratahs, Gen Blue or anything like that, but I got the opportunity to go ISA, and then from ISA I got picked up playing New South Wales schools, so yeah. And then obviously I would have met you at ISA when you were playing.
Yeah.
What's it called? What were you playing?
GPS.
It was ones or?
Yeah.
Ones, yeah. So we would have versed each other.
Well, what year would have that been?
That was 2020, I think it was.
2020.
We sort of were playing on the Two Blues field. Remember,
Yeah.
it was all like cut up. It was
I remember, I was in year 11, and when I got selected for GPS, I dropped my nuts.
Really?
Yeah,
was it huge?
No, because I had like Max Jorgo with me. I had like all the upcoming like superstars coming along with me, and I was just dropping nuts because I was like, we're gonna verse bigger boys. And I was like, it's just 5'7", 5'8" guys, just like, I gotta tackle all these props, I gotta tackle all these backs.
Yeah.
But it was good. I ended up playing pretty well against CAS, and then ISA, I played alright, but then we won at the end, so it was pretty good.
Yeah, I remember that, and you guys beat us.
That was pretty good.
It was a big game, like, because we were going back and forth, and then you guys just took it away at the very end, from what I remember.
But all I could remember from that game was how I got yellow carded at like the last 10 minutes for something crazy. Right, I went to go for a tackle, and then somehow I touched the ball as one of your centers passes it.
Yeah.
And then the ref just brings me over and was like, you're out. I was like,
surely not.
Surely I was like, it's the end of the game. Might as well just enjoy it.
Yeah, because I remember when we were playing that game, because I haven't really met you before that, and then I was just because I was a winger myself.
Yeah.
Of carving up, just going through everyone. I was just like, well, who is this kid? I was like, what? And then I started aspiring, sort of seeing your footwork, and then obviously Ches and Colby and all those greats, and seeing how to work on my craft. So it was sick. We're going to sort of go on to teenage, to obviously we touched on school and stuff, but we're going to start saying, so in the Kings programs and all that, sort of what helps you through that, sort of what program, nutrition, meeting the right people, sort of helped you get to where you are now?
Yeah. At school, well, all the boys, especially all the Islander boys, because I was all close to them, we all cared about like rugby and stuff like that. So we did whatever it takes to like get there at the top. I remember we were in the first 15 squad for pre-season, and we had to do this thing called like the Balmoral run. Sounds fun. Bro, it was the worst.
Yeah.
We had to like warm up obviously, so we didn't like pull anything or anything like that. and then we started from this bottom of this hill, and then we had to like sprint up as fast as you could up to like this point. It wasn't like the steep ass hill that everyone does, but like it was another hill, and then once we got at the top of the hill, we had to do like these mini sprints up like a short hill. It was only like 10 meters, but the first one I couldn't even handle it.
Really?
We had to do like 5 of those.
Yeah.
And then on the 5th one, I was literally about to vomit it
Yeah.
all out.
Yeah, bro, I've been there.
Yeah,
No,
but we weren't even finished though. Like after that, we had to go like straight off from the stairs, and we had to do like 5 of those also, and my legs could not handle it.
Just crumpled after
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Far out. Swims after?
Oh, but I was cramping.
Just went home. Just don't want to be here. Don't want to be here.
If you know us Islanders, we cannot swim properly, especially after fitness.
Bro, I can't swim either, right?
No,
I'd rather not. I'd rather just get food, eh?
But but I wanted to like experience the cold water, so I was just like, oh, this would feel so nice. And I was just lying there, and then we had to swim back, so I was like, oh, okay. I start swimming back, and I get like cramp. I was just like, oh.
Yeah, tough. So we're talking about obviously swimming. That we can't swim either. How about did you do much athletics or any running when you were growing up?
Yeah, well, I did. I grew up doing athletics too.
Okay.
So I was like kind of doing multiple sports at the same time when I was young.
Let's touch on that. How many sports were you doing? Athletics, rugby, and...
Ooh, I gotta count. I did touch, I did Oztag,
Yeah.
I did athletics, I did rugby sevens, I did rugby 15s, and I did league.
So yeah.
So it was 6 sports when I was growing up.
Yeah,
But it was good, it was fun. I mean, like, you have to have a lot of variety.
just learn different
Yeah.
sports. Yeah. So I was going to touch on that as well. Was it from obviously rugby union was the main one? League, was that ever an option for you?
I actually grew up doing league.
Oh, was it? So it was
Yeah.
league first, then union.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
but it wasn't. It was a short period. I think I started playing league when I was 4, playing like 2 years up with my brother.
Yeah.
For only like 2 or 3 years, I was playing for Wenty Magpies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was playing. We were such a good team. I think we had like a 10-year. I think another 10-year streak after I left.
Yeah.
And then somehow it broke, because like we were a pretty good team. I think majority of us ended up playing, like, right now playing like Jersey Flag and all that stuff.
So
I think I know a few of the boys that ended up playing. What's that, New South Wales Cup?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's good.
Yeah, hectic. And then athletics, was there much you were doing in athletics that sort of helped you? Was it just regular?
Well, I'm a sprinter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what were you hitting in 100?
Oh, I can't even remember, to be honest, but I think last time I recall when I was doing it, I think it was in year 10. Yeah, I believe it was year 10, and I was hitting 10.8 or something at the athletics
10.8.
carnival. Yeah.
Yeah, Usain Bolt over here.
Yeah, mate. Short, but I'm quick.
Quick, bro. I wish I was that fast. I think the first fastest I ran was like 11, 12 seconds or
I
something.
mean, that's still quick.
That was when I was like in year 5, so that's when I had no body fat, no nothing, and I was just sticks running.
But year 5 and you were running like 11.
I think so, yeah. That was the last time I did athletics. I was just like, I can't really be arsed. I'd rather just play rugby and touch.
I was kind of like a chubby boy in year 5.
Oh, what, back then, really? Really? I've always just been sticks and bones. Pivotal person sort of in your life, coach. Obviously, you talk about Dad, John Olomi, but was there like a coach or maybe a player that you met, like a friend that sort of gave you good advice when you were younger that you sort of just aspired from that, got inspiration from that?
I'd say my first 15 coach for school,
Yeah.
Jimmy Hilgendorf. Especially when I think it was 2022. He had cancer.
Okay.
When we found out. We were actually versing St. Augustine's that day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a very bad game. We just won 19-12.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I remember he's just disappointed at us in the locker rooms, and we were like heads down. It was the worst day we ever had. And then he brought it up because he had it for a while, but we just never knew. But
Good news.
from there, that was kind of like, I realized like, oh, that was like kind of my peak. I was like, oh, this should be our purpose for this year. Just like focus and do this for him.
Yeah.
And it was good. I had one of my greatest years that year. I remember, I still have it. I still have it today.
Yeah.
I have these boots that I used to play in back at school. It had a writing on the side of it. It was like for Jimmy.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
it was
sick.
good. I still have it today, but I'm not gonna give it to anyone else.
Yeah, keep it in
Yeah.
a box or something like that.
Yeah, mate, that's
Yeah.
a treasure.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a treasure.
awesome, bro. And then obviously talking about Jimmy, going back to the program and sort of what it gave you with Kings. Could you touch on that a little bit more and how that sort of developed you as in like strength and conditioning, nutrition, if they put you on any like sort of mental coaches or something like that, or like something behind the scenes that no one really knows about that you could speak on?
Well, he was like a mentor for me. Like every question I ask, I always tell him.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what was one time? It was hard. Oh, actually, yeah, I did mention this before, but I did always come up to him about like having a manager and stuff like that because I was very uncurious about where I was going to go after school, and he helped me with that. It was pretty good. And then I remember there was one mental break that I had. I don't know what the reason was, but I think it was just like HSC pressure and stuff like that. And he kind of he realized like, oh, I think it's best just like take things slow, just have this first week off. And like it was good. Like he understood all of us.
Yeah.
Even though we were students at the time, like he understood what we would go through because I feel like he went through that also, so
Went through the same stuff, so
yeah.
helped you out with a lot of it. And then we'll go to, yeah, so we sort of touched on it. You said plans after school. Did you have any idea what was going to happen after school besides rugby or with rugby?
To be honest, I actually had no idea what I was going to do after school. I wasn't sure if I was going to go to uni or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I had a passion for rugby. It was like my number one dream to do.
Yeah.
And so I kind of was like, oh, if I was going to do this, I might as well just act on it. Instead of just saying that I'm going to do it or dream about it.
And then your pathway?
My pathway? Obviously it was through private school, which just helped me a lot. But yeah, from there it was GPS. Then from GPS it was to Next Gen. We called it Next Gen back then. You remember that?
Yeah, Next Gen, yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. I don't know why they stopped doing that. Well, they still do it, but it's different.
Yeah. It's called Gen Blue now, I guess,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, they kind of changed it to Gen Blue.
Yeah.
I think.
That's what I think. That's what I
Yeah.
got told it was.
I remember it was Next Gen when I was like
Yeah. Next
probably
Gen Blue.
15 or something like that. I remember it was Next Gen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got selected. Oh, I got selected for Sydney. City, yeah, City.
Yeah, against City.
Yeah.
Country, was it?
Yeah. It was against
Sydney
country.
Yeah.
And then I went to play for TARS that same year. And then from there, I just kind of stuck with TARS throughout like the rest of my years at school. But yeah, it was good. So like from there, I just kind of built my skills up, built my confidence, hard work, all that stuff, and then stayed consistent with Gen Blue until literally just last year when I signed. Yeah.
Hectic. And then getting the signing, we'll go through that. So obviously your scout brought you in, and then how was it getting sort of the call up or the signing? How was that process moving?
Oh, it was kind of relieving.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was working so hard during school. Like, I didn't go out or anything like that. I was like so focused on just that one goal. And when I got selected for schoolboys, like, I was so happy with myself.
Yeah.
And then from there, I got selected with sevens, and I think that's kind of how I got noticed from Aussie sevens. And then my agent came up to me and was like, oh, there's a interest you have from Aussie sevens. would you like to have a chat with them? And I was like, oh.
Yeah,
In the national
of course
team,
I
of
would,
course I would love
yeah.
that. Yeah, but it was good. It was good. I had a brief discussion with them that probably lasted like not long, but probably like a month, just to kind of confirm everything.
Yeah.
And then got the paper and signed it.
Hectic. And was there steps? Did you know sort of steps you took to get to that signing? Or was
Yeah.
it sort of you just played really well and
Well,
everything else came?
at first you have to like kind of stand out in some way. Like everyone stands out in their own way.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like everyone's unique. But I guess it's just getting like kind of connected with people. Like I don't know how things work. Like there's a lot of pathways, and I know that for sure because I've went through one. And so if you just stick with your pathway, then I am like certain that you are bound to like go where you want to go.
And
Like
you're-
no off guide, like don't guide to the off the path or something like that, but like stick to the same path. You may like hit a curve there and then, but it's just normal.
But and then you touched on it, manager, agent sort of stuff. How was that process finding one? Do you think it's worth it? Do they help? What do you think?
It honestly, people don't realize like how helpful it is.
Yeah.
Like it's like having a tutor for like a subject, for like math or something like that. They'll help you throughout the like process. They won't hold your hand at like HSC or anything like that, but like they'll guide you through like how to answer this, how to answer that, all that stuff. And it was good. It was really good.
Obviously, this is not where news is the best. Obviously, you have a injury at the moment that you had. You want to talk about that and how it's travelling?
Yeah, or unfortunately, when I came into the program, I came in with a hemi tear, a grade 2 hemi tear.
Yeah.
And so I was just rehabbing with them.
Was that just like you're playing and then pulled it, or?
I was overtraining. Like I knew the cause of it, but I didn't choose to deal with it because I liked both sports.
Yeah.
So because we had Gen Blue, and then over that I had school athletics.
Okay.
And so with school athletics and Gen Blue, I only had 1 day of rest, which was on a Sunday.
Yeah.
So it was not really ideal when it comes to recovery and stuff like that. But then I remember literally the last week before like the big event for GPS, and then I was like, oh, I should get my last run in. And so because I tweaked my hammy before, and so I was just like resting it a bit, and they knew I was doing, like my school knew I was doing Gen Blue at the time.
Yeah.
And so they were resting me, and then I told them, I kind of like heckled them. I was like, oh, let me do this one run just so I could feel confident for next week. And they're like, oh yeah, go ahead. I remember to my friend, I told him for advice because I go for him for every advice I know, especially the ones that I can't figure out. And he said, no, don't do it.
Don't do it. Yeah.
But I wanted to do it.
Eager.
Yeah, I was too eager.
Yeah. It's us as sports players, we're just eager, eh?
Yeah.
Just want to get on the field.
I know. I mean, like,
You don't think nothing worse is going
Yeah.
to happen, you're just going to go and then...
yeah, but like you don't expect things to happen. Like you can't predict the future for it. And then I remember I was getting ready. Like my hemi was a bit alright then, but I was like, oh, I know I could go through this. And then 100-meter race, started running. Literally the last 10 meters just pulled on me.
You just hear it.
Yeah, I didn't fall or anything. I just like I got shot kind of thing, and then I just stopped running. I went up to the coach and I was like, oh.
It's not good, eh?
Yeah, I was like, ah. Well, at first every time I get injured, I'm like, oh, I should be back next week. But this one was bad.
That young blood, eh? You're just
Yeah.
should go again.
Yeah. And then he went to go get me checked on with the physio that like I know of, and then he told me, he was like, oh, you tore your hemi.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
It's not good news, eh?
Yeah, especially when you tell your parents or your mate. When they told you
Yeah, when they
specifically
tell you,
not
not
to
to do
run,
it.
it was the worst. And then kind of went on from there. Like with the question you asked, I had a hemi, and then when I was going through my hemi, I copped another one when I came back with a turf toe. Literally the week before Perth Sevens.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was devastating that day. And then I came back from that. I came back from my turf toe.
What's turf toe? You just hit it or something?
Yeah. Oh, it's a weird thing. I never
I've
knew
never
I
heard
had
turf toe,
I
bro.
never
It's
knew
like-
that was a thing. I never even knew you could strap your toe.
Yeah.
It was weird. So like,
Oh, you just crack it sometimes and it should be alright.
yeah, it's like when you hyperextend your shoulder and stuff like that.
Oh,
But it's
okay.
like on your toe.
Oh, and then
So-
it gets all like swollen around that
Yeah.
bottom. Yeah.
So it's just like you hyperextend it backwards, and then there's like a ligament that kind of just
Yeah, and it
torn, and
inflames,
then
yeah.
and then I was out for like probably 2 months for that, and then literally the first 2 weeks I come back, I do my hemi again.
I mean, again,
It was I was like, honestly, it was like the lowest point of my
it's
life.
frustrating, yeah.
Yeah, and then not even that, like I still pushed on with it. Like I was like, oh, you still got plenty of games to go. You can still go through this. And then literally 2 weeks before Olympics, I done my toe again. It's just been those two injuries. Yeah,
Just back and forth.
yeah. It's
Wow.
not good. And then from there, they told me like, oh, no matter what decision you make, you're gonna miss it.
Yeah.
And then that kind of just dropped from there.
Yeah, it would have been good news there.
Nah, not for me, especially with my mental health.
Yeah, so your rehab stuff, what are you doing at the moment to sort of just help out with your hamstring?
I actually just got the moon boot 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
So
From the toe?
yeah, the rehab's just pretty chill at the moment. So I'm just doing some walking in water, stuff like that, doing some drilling in water, and then finishing off with some off-feet conditioning, which is it's not good.
No.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
What do you do for that?
So it's a different one. I do two different types of two different conditioning. So
Yep.
if I was to be in the pool doing the rehab, I'll have to do like water running.
Water running?
You know what water running is?
Sort of, yeah. What, just...
Yeah, so you have like a floaty.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say that. That's what I thought it was, but I thought maybe it's just running
and then
normal.
you just like basically run as fast, like as hard as you can in
Yeah.
the water.
Yeah. Do you wear a cap and stuff? Just full, I'd love that footage, bro.
Just wear this goggles. Actually, I got a video.
We'll put it right here.
But it was so hard for me, cause like some people can water run and like it's like treading on water and they can tread like up to their traps. But when I'm water running, I'm
Yeah.
like water running and then like my head's
Oh,
just
it's
like this. It's like hard. It works on your legs a lot. Like
Yeah,
I'll show
it's
you.
actually good.
Look.
Oh, so you're not even touching the ground, you're just going
No,
like that?
it's like it's on the deep
yeah.
water. It's on the deep end.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're just fully doing so that...
I'm not showing them the video.
Okay.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
It's okay. It's just it goes like this.
Yeah.
Don't touch the ground.
Yeah.
So is that just water running and anything else? Or?
Yeah. Oh, and then if I wasn't to do my rehab, because the physios only comes in like Tuesday, Thursday for me.
Yep.
So most of the times I have to do just the gym stuff with off feet, and if I was to do off feet and without the pool, I'd have to do like a circuit, which is pretty good. Like I like it a lot, but the watt bike gets me a lot.
What bike's insane? Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when
It's the most underrated thing I've ever done.
yeah, when you're fully going. Because I remember when when I met you, when I did my internship, I was on the watt bike with a guy called Dennis. He's funny, shout out to Dennis. But we were just running. We weren't really doing much, but with the rats and doing a bit of that, I was just fitness. Like, when you touch that bike, it's different.
But I remember.
If you get put on a proper like.
I remember when I first saw the watt bike when I first came into the program. I was just like, oh, it's just like a normal cross trainer. There's nothing like a cross trainer. They made me do like this like on and off kind of on the thing on the watt bike, and then I was just like, not even halfway through, and I'm just like bawling sweat from it. I'm just like, oh, this is the worst pain I've ever felt.
Yeah.
It was the worst.
It's not fun, bro. But yeah, let's talk on sort of, because we mentioned obviously your struggles with injury. Has there been any prior injuries or any struggles you've been through that sort of anyone can get advice from, and how you sort of handled the situation?
Prior injuries, I'd probably say I didn't have much, but I did have like a shoulder problem in school.
Yeah.
I did thankfully reach someone for that, and then they kind of just gave me the exercise, and I still do those exercises today.
Yeah.
It's like a habit type of thing. If you do one injury and you have to do rehab for it, you might as well just keep on doing it until you finish rugby.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. Like every time after gym, I just do the rehab. I do this and I do that.
And you sort of just keep it to you.
Yeah, well, my shoulder feels
programs.
pretty great from it now.
Moving,
Yeah. It feels good.
Because I've had injuries like ankle injuries and stuff, and then the physio gives you something and you just keep it. And it keeps strengthening it. Because some things, like I have like groin injuries. I'm struggling with it right now. It's like osteitis pubis or something like that.
Yeah.
Where it just inflames all the time.
Yeah.
So just having those things to build sort of your core and quads and obviously hips and whatnot helps. So.
I wouldn't know much about it because I didn't have that like injury that I had. But wouldn't like Copenhagen's help you with that or something?
Copenhagen's are perfect for it. Yeah.
I remember
that's
doing
what
those.
It was
Those are pretty good.
Yeah, because it strengthens everything on the inside. Because a lot of these athletes they keep the outside and quads and hamstrings. They're not doing the inside of their legs, and that's why a lot of injuries, especially what I had, happened because I wasn't doing that inside. Because I step a lot, there's a lot of power and when you step, so that's why it's like happening. But is there any other sort of struggles, injuries that you've had? Maybe like mental struggles, if you want to open up about that, or maybe missing a team when you were younger. Yeah, how you sort of dealt with that.
Well, I might as well put this out anyways. But I do talk to, I think it's called a psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist, yeah.
So like a sports psychologist, I think.
Sports psychologist.
Yeah. I think that's the better word for it. Yeah. But I talked to her, especially when I came back from my hammy injury, my most recent one, and I was like I literally opened up to I think it was our career advisor at Rugby Sevens. I was like to her, I was like, oh, I'm mentally I'm just not feeling well with everything that's just happening right now. I was wondering if I could just talk to a professional about this, a specialist, and then she hooked me up, which was like very grateful for her. Yeah. I'm grateful that I have someone to talk to at this time. Like this is my first time actually admitting that I talked to someone. I still talk to her to this day because like I'm still going through some stuff at the moment. Yeah. But yeah, I'm just like cruising along. She helps a lot, honestly. Yeah. So if one advice I'd probably give you is like if you need help, just ask for it. Yeah, awesome. It's good.
Yeah, that's great advice. Yeah. Just sports, I don't have one myself, but that's something obviously at your level right now, something to obviously look into. Any other struggles? Is that mainly it?
Yeah, I think just the mental one is just the biggest one I've ever had.
Yeah, and just talk out and find people to help you with everything.
Yeah, because this literally actually is it yesterday? Is it today? Today's the 4th. Oh, 4 days ago marks the a whole year of not being able to play.
Really?
Yeah, like that's how hard it's been for me. Because it's just been those 2 injuries this whole time, and then with the surgery, just kind of like finished it for my season with the Sevens, and so I wouldn't say I wasted it, but it just opens another opportunity for me. Awesome. And that's what my specialist told me.
Do we know when you're going to come back? Do we have an idea?
I like not to say. I won't say
sort
much because because like I'm a type of guy that's like, oh, if I kind of just like show it off in my words, then I'm gonna jinx myself from it. So I'm just gonna.
We'll stay away from that. Yeah. But hopefully we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
And
hopefully.
It'd be good to see you on the main stage. Would be.
Yeah. It'll be good. Bro.
So now we're gonna go on to your first day. How was it? Sort of just meeting everyone and the people you met, and just talk about your first day.
First day I was scared.
So
would be like I was like dropping my nuts.
Yeah.
Like, there was I think there was one time, because I was doing my rehab at that time, so I didn't do too much field with them. But I remember when I was doing the gym, they made me go on Ox on the speaker.
Yeah.
And just to clarify, I don't have Spotify Premium.
Yeah.
So
it was just playing ads sometimes.
every like, and I was
Spotify.
sponsor me, please. But yeah, I remember I was just pumping. Like, I like to say I have good music taste, but I was like playing the music, all the boys are vibing, and then next minute ads come on. They're like, what? They're like, come on, Hadley, skip it. I was that scared.
Yeah.
My sensei was like, oh, don't worry about it. But I didn't listen to him. I was just on my phone. I was just like, skip.
So that was the first time coming in.
Yeah, literally like the first day. The first day I went in. But it was pretty good.
So what was it like, obviously, because I've been through, you walk through the sliding, sort of the electronic doors.
Yeah.
You meet the secretary, well, not secretary, the front
Receptionist.
And then who sort of walked you in? Who were the first people we met? Maybe nutritionists or rehab people, the players?
The first person I met was Scotty.
Scotty?
Yeah, it was Scotty.
Bowman,
Yeah. He kind of helped me through what is expected and stuff like that, and then he handed me over to coach Johnny Manetti. And he helped me out. Johnny Manetti and Chucky Stannard. They're both great coaches.
Yeah.
So they kind of helped me through, like, transition properly into it, which is good. I'd say like right now I'm pretty comfortable.
And just being around everyone now?
Yeah.
Hectic.
It's good.
And then obviously you met the rehab people first day or?
There wasn't, I think...
The physiotherapist.
Oh yeah, the physio was pretty good. Yeah, I like him, Jazza.
Yeah, Jazza. Great name.
It was good. Kiwi Blake too. Yeah, it was pretty good. And then I met I think his name. We met Stefan. Is his last name. Stefan, we call him Leb. I don't know why, but I think because he has a beard that makes him look like a Leb.
Lebanese.
I don't know, but yeah, we all call him Leb.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's at SSC. He's pretty good. I like him. I like Jazza. I like Jazza a lot.
Jazza a lot, yeah.
He's a sick.
He's cool.
Yeah. he's a chill guy. I like him. Yeah. I met Doc.
Doc.
Yeah, and then I met some of the RA staff, which was pretty good. Yeah. And yeah, they just hit up from there.
Yeah, hectic. All right. So sort of the fun stuff now.
Oh, here you go.
Well, it's going to talk about sort of what's your go-to pump-up song?
Go-to pump-up song?
Yeah, like when you're running onto that field, what are you listening to? Or just before you get onto that field?
I used to have a routine at school that I do.
Yeah.
I'll put it on YouTube because I don't have Spotify Premium.
Yeah.
But I always watch my highlights, and then I visualize some things, and then I visualize with the music. Just like it's like kind of like a highlight reel in your head. But what's that song? Oh yeah. But this is definitely my go-to song.
Go-to song, yeah.
I'll play it now. Oh, actually, is it?
You can just go. Oh, no, it's whatever. Just put it up.
Oh, yo, just skip the ads first. I gotta wait for that. Right, this is like my go-to song.
Oh yes, Skepta.
Yeah, this is heaps a good song.
It's a hectic, but I listen to all of his stuff. Yeah, no, that's hectic. That's a good song because they're just head bopping the whole time.
Yeah.
And then just run onto the field and just carve up.
It's pretty good because I'd always like play that song and then watch the game, and then after that I've like visualize what I'm gonna do to them.
Yeah.
I remember review game. This was ages ago, like 2022 review game. Like, I don't know why, but something got in my head and I was like so pissed about it. Yeah. I played that song in my head and I was visualizing like hitting everyone.
Yeah. And that's where all the edits came out.
Literally like the first tackle I made, I full on like hit someone hard at them. And it was pretty good. Like I was like, oh, this is my deal. I was like, this is it.
Yeah. That's hectic. And then obviously you have your pump up song. What sort of funny memory when you first got into Aussie Sevens?
Oh, I don't know if I can bring this up. I'm trying to like find this way to make it PG in a way. Nah,
Wow.
it's weird. But oh no, okay, I'll give you the story.
This one?
Okay. So I remember all the boys just like talking about carpentry and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because one of the boys used to be I think a project manager, and then one of them used to be a carpenter.
Yeah.
And then somehow it just got brought up like you used to do this, you used to do that, and then they came up to me and was like, oh, did you used to work like during school or something like that? I was like, I don't know why work experience is not considered like working, but I was like, yeah, I used to be a plumber.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Plumber.
wait, yeah, you used to be a plumber? And I was like, yeah, I used to do those things for construction. I do it during the holidays. And I was like, they're like, that's called work experience. I was like, oh, is it actually?
So I just made a joke about that.
Yeah, I think they kind of just like made fun of me after that.
Work experience.
It was good. I enjoy a lot of it.
Yeah.
I don't care if they laugh at me or with me.
Yeah, no, awesome. That's good. I like that. And then, as I was going to say, let's talk about leadership squad sort of with Aussie Sevens as we talked sort of off camera. How was it sort of meeting the boys and how have they helped you out with everything?
Yeah, it was good. Well, for me as a young person, I consider all of them as a leader, especially when I want to get the most questions out of all of them.
Yeah.
Because like one will specialize in this, one will specialize in that, but all of them like they all do it very well, but one will be better than something else in their skill. But I'd say I call them big three.
Big three.
I don't tell them that, but in my head I call them the big three. But Nick Morloff,
Yeah.
Moose for short.
Moose, yeah.
He's our captain.
Yep.
Henry Hutchison.
Gotcha.
Hutchie,
Yeah.
and then Maurice Longbottom, I call him Longy.
Long.
But yeah, I'd say those three are like the biggest leaders in my heart. They're big leaders in me, because especially them, they've been there for long, like pretty long.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're old.
No,
But
yeah, we just grew up watching them.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Like I grew up watching them.
Inspirations,
Yeah, and they're like the most experienced, I'd say, to get the most out of them. Especially, I like talking to Hachi, because like I don't know why, but like he seems so like a good person to stay comfortable with. And he's a good leader. And he's like jacked.
He's jacked. Bro. He's jacked. I love him.
Have you seen those like those videos, those reels that they post up?
What were they on the account or just in general?
Oh, just in general, like those sevens, like those other sevens account and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Right.
It's insane.
People think that they.
Oh, I saw what's it called? There was him, and then it was who was with him. There was a video.
There was Matt Gonzalez.
Matt Gonzalez, yeah, bro. I was
Gonzalez
like, what?
Is jacked too.
Yeah, I was like, bro, these programs, I'd love to be on them, mate.
Yeah. Oh, there was one time when I was doing skills training with them, and then they're like, "Oh, you got Gonzalez's build," and I was like,
Yo.
I was like, "Oh, that's the greatest compliment ever."
Yeah, I'd take that.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, literally, they're both jacked.
Yeah,
They're
it's
both
insane.
huge players.
Insane.
Especially when I'm a big person when it comes to legs.
Yeah.
Like I love doing leg day and everything like that. His legs are huge.
Is there much they're doing, or is it just nutrition and gym? Mainly?
I'd say some genetics will be involved in that.
Involved in it, yeah.
But yeah, nutrition will be part of it, and then just like training and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, right,
they're
it's insane.
huge.
And then we sort of touched on it off camera as well. Who you've come up with? You were talking about Aiden and everyone else. So who are the sort of young guns that have come up with you into the Oz Sevens?
Yeah. Oh, shout out to Jimmy McGregor and Aiden Ekinyaki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How they're finding it as well.
Yeah, they find it pretty good. Like I like when I was in the program, I knew they were in it too,
Yeah.
and so I was comfortable with them. Oh, another shout out, Henry Palmer.
Henry Palmer.
Yeah, another quick bloke like me. It was like them three, like I felt comfortable around with and stuff like that. Especially when I was just new to the program. Like I would probably like chill with them for a bit, and then when I got comfortable, I just kind of spread out. So it was pretty good.
Yeah, sick. So now we're going to go into the advice segment of this and sort of talk about advice growing up that it's sort of stuck with you. So advice that's sort of stuck with you throughout your years coming up with rugby, and what you sort of hold on to going on to what you are doing now.
Advice. Obviously the advice I would give to everyone is just always ask for help if you need it.
Yeah.
Like sometimes people will just do things on their own, but it just can cause like a great mess. And that's what I do most of the times. I always ask questions, and then I always ask for help if I needed it. But I do remember. It's a weird thing because my dad's pretty fresh. He's a pretty freshie because he was born in Tonga.
Yeah.
Every time I remember, I was scared to tackle a big person. When I was like 12 or something like that. And then my dad always tells me, he was like, do they have 2 arms? Do they have 2 legs?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, then they can be tackled.
Yeah.
That was good. It was good. And that kind of stuck with me. So I was just, every time I see someone bigger than me or someone that's like pretty like well known for their skills or something like that, I was like, oh, they have 2 legs, they have 2 arms. They're not impossible to be.
It's like human, just like us, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just basically you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then sort of best ways youngsters, sort of you are young yourself, but sort of youngsters can look to get into the teams they want, and what advice you would sort of give to them. Is it like, obviously you said if you need help, talk to people, but like coaches, maybe nutrition, you touched on maybe managers, and then and sort of who you surround yourself with. What would you say on that?
Definitely talk to people if you need it. But other things, I'd say, I remember I was talking to Hachi before they went off to the Olympics, and I was asking him questions. I was like, oh, when you had your knee injury, what did you do to help you the most? And like I'm a stingy boy when it comes to money and stuff like that. Like I'd be asking people to, oh, could you just buy this for me and stuff like that. But he told me, he was like, I utilize my recovery the most if I wanted to get back. And he told me money comes and money goes. He's like, spend your money on what you need to do to get back 100%, 110%.
Yeah.
And then from there, I was just like, oh, okay. I need to utilize my money properly. Like, because most of the times I just spend it on clothes and then I save the rest up because I don't do much for my money anyway. But he says, if you're gonna like become 110% and be the best that you want to be, spend your money on what you need to do. Like spend it on a chiro, spend it on like a massage, even like get acupuncture to get the best recovery, go to a spa or something like that. Like spend your money, because money will come in the end of the day. So yeah.
Hectic. Great advice.
Yeah. And if you don't have any money, ask. Always ask.
Always ask. Sort of, you did touch on it there, but extra stuff you did on how you got to where you got to.
I'm a big person when it comes to PSS. So PSS stands for, I think it's personal. I keep forgetting. Personal something skills.
Okay.
But yeah, literally at school before training, I did some kicks and catches, and then after training I did some passing. Like I do something that would benefit me in the game, because I at school I was analysing. Like this was my secret to becoming like a good player.
Yeah.
I analysed the hell out of my opponents.
Yeah.
I remember going on huddle during my class. Don't do this, by the way. I was on my laptop during like science class or math class, just analysing my opponents. Like I was like analysing. I was like, oh, like this was pretty specific too. Like I was analysing. Oh, like this winger is a left ball carrier. He steps only on the right side. He's a weak person in defence. He only tackles blah 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 blah. He cannot jump. like etc. etc. Like I analysed the hell out of them, and that's what kind of made me a good player out of that.
Awesome, bro. That's great advice. All right. So we're going to go on to the final segment now. We're going to wrap it up soon. But sort of your legacy, what do you want to leave behind and what do you want to be known for?
My legacy, well, actually a good thing, I do like reading.
Reading.
Like that's probably one thing that people don't know about me. I like reading a lot, and I did read a book called Legacy, which is about the All Blacks and what they do, basically what they became to be the best, and one of them was like leaving a legacy and stuff like that. I know I haven't read for ages, so like they can correct me if I'm wrong or something like that, but I do remember they leave a legacy, not for themselves but for the upcoming generation that they're going to take their jersey. So I am pretty young in a way, but I'd say my legacy is just preparing the next generation to like be as skillful as me, like leaving my jersey and my position into a better person.
Awesome, bro. And then the last one, if you want to shout out anything, family, obviously we talked about religion and we touched on other people you shouted out, but if you want to shout out anyone or your socials, go ahead.
I don't have much, but I'd say all glory to God.
All glory to God. Awesome. Well, appreciate your time.
Oh, good.
Thank you for it. And that's it. Obviously, like, subscribe. I'm new to this as well. So obviously, like, subscribe. More podcasts coming soon, hopefully every 2 weeks. Obviously, superstar over here, Tonga Hadley, is our first podcast, which is amazing. Thank you for obviously coming today. And cheers. Awesome. That's it.